Thank you, Deanne, and thank you. Let's all give a round of applause to all of our sponsors. We can't do this without you. Now I'm going to turn it over to Tanya and go take a seat and enjoy the show.
I have the honor to present our speaker today. Our speaker is Ruby Cetino. She's the owner of Charisma Co. She has definitely made waves in our community. She is a branding and marketing specialist, a good leader, and she really exemplifies what a good leader is because she is in our community. She is definitely filming and photographing different businesses, different people that should be featured in our community that we haven't heard about yet. And a good leader not only knows the way and shows the way, a good leader knows the way and goes the way, but she also shows the way. And that's why she's here today, to show us the way that she has learned through experience and just share her knowledge of marketing and branding. And we're so excited to have Ruby. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we're so excited to hear all about what you have to share with us today.
If you would have told me, I think in 2008, that I would be here talking to you, especially about marketing, I would probably think you're a little crazy. My story is really interesting because I grew up with a single mom of 7 kids. So when people sometimes tell me, how do you do it? Because sometimes there's this perception of I do it all. Trust me, I don't. None of us can do it all and do it all well. But I get that question a lot. And I say, if you knew my mother, you would know. A lot of us here have our individual stories. We come from somewhere, from families, from backgrounds, from places and spaces that a lot of people don't even know. They can't fathom. And it makes me emotional because sometimes as business owners, we push past all of the hard. Even now, as we grind and we work and we make it happen. But somebody helped us along the way raise another bar, raise another level. And that to me is my mom, and I cannot talk about her because I will cry. And she knows it. But ultimately, we all have this fantastic story. We all have this depth, this well that we're actually pulling from that makes us exactly who we are. And if you would have told me again in 2008 that I would be speaking and talking about marketing, what? I didn't graduate from college. I was a creative person from the moment I was born. Back in those days, creativity wasn't celebrated. In high school, I was looked down upon because I wasn't going to college. I didn't take that route. I just knew, though, in the depths of me that I had to follow exactly what I wanted to do. And that has never changed. If there has been anything that I have been super proud about is standing in the firmness of what I believe to be true for my life, my walk, and my destiny. And that's why I'm here. Because it's an accumulation of yeses and nos, decisions and choices that we get to make for ourselves. We get to say, yes, I want that, and no, I don't. And sometimes we say yes to things we don't want. And we end up where we don't want to be. And at some point, we have to figure out, wait, I made a wrong turn somewhere. Let me adjust. We do this all of the time. And then we get glimpses of things and places that we know we were destined to be. So all of that to say, I don't believe we're in this room by coincidence. All of us, every single person here. And the interesting thing is you're probably sitting near or close to a competitor. And I get that, especially in Bakersfield, you guys. Like, I don't know why we are still so stuck in this small town mentality when we are thriving and growing, and then we have access to things like social media to push beyond barriers. And the more every single person in this room wins, the more we all win. The more the city wins. The more the world wins. And if there is one thing I hope you leave with today, it's understanding that there is only one you. And there is only one walk of life that you are required to fulfill. And nobody can do it for you. And nobody's going to do it like you. And I don't care if there's 10 competitors in the same row. You don't come from the same places. You don't believe the same things. You probably don't even want to work with the same people. We all have a lane. We all have a work. Somebody likes to do it this way while the other likes to do it that way. And the more we just can honor that, the more we can move in to what branding and marketing is actually supposed to be. So I picked up a camera in 2008. Primary reason, and I believe good questions lead us to good destinations. So my first question was, how could I do something like creative and stay home with my son? That was question number one. I did not know that question would change my life. And so I started to process, and we get in this, there's nothing, there's a blank cloud. I know I have to do this, but I have no idea how. And I remember sitting in my car in the driveway of my house, and I was listening to the radio. All of a sudden, it goes from music to like a pitch, like calmness, and then this story. And the story is this woman, she's explaining her life, her choices, how she loved to make sweets for her family, and how sweets turned into something she never imagined. And at the end, she said, I'm Auntie Ann, the owner of the pretzel company. And I was like, wow, it gave me chills. And I thought, what do I like to do? I like to take pictures. I'm an obsessed picture taker of my son right now. Does that count for something? In good old Ruby fashion, I walk into my house and I tell my husband, babe, so guess what? I'm going to be a photographer. And he's, what? You don't even own a camera, Ruby. I'm like, yeah, minor details. I'm going to be a photographer. So then that was it. Literally a decision in my head, a mindset to do exactly what I wanted to do, a choice to say, I can do it. I just got to figure it out. And so that is the reason why every single time, because I actually did it, I pushed through, I saw the vision through. It was hard as heck, but because I did that, I built trust with myself, right? So the next time I got that weird feeling of maybe I should try this thing. I've never done it before, but maybe I should. I trusted that I could see it through. It was going to take work, dedication, learning new skill sets, and I'd find myself there. 15 years into the wedding industry as a wedding photographer, somewhere about midway in 2017, I told my husband, I said, okay, this is either the year that I completely quit, or because we know what that feels like, right, guys? We know what it feels like to have years and years in the industry, and you're just like, it's just not paying off. Something is just not breaking through. What is it? What am I missing? What are the tools? What do I need? Good questions that change the trajectory of your life. In that season, 2017, I was like, where am I missing it? Either I get serious about this wedding business, or I call it quits, because this is not worth it anymore. And in that year, I just had that thought, and I feel like when you finally accept this positioning of being open to the next level, something is always waiting for you. And then all of a sudden, oh, the sky's open and everything's clear. And there it is right before you. For me, that was a promotional from Jasmine Star, The Path of Profitability. Everything she was saying, do you feel lost here? Do you not know where you're going? Da-da-da. Good marketing, right? The guru of branding and marketing, by the way. And I was like, yes, that is where I am. And so check, back then it was like $700, which was so massive for me of an investment. And plus, the cheapest Jasmine Star would probably ever be. Like, I was in a room with 20 people face to face with one of the branding and marketing gurus. Are you kidding me? Did I know I was walking in to my future? No. But I took that step. I positioned myself to grow, and I did not know it would change the rest of my life. I sat in that room with 20 other people, one of them being my friend. She walked away, cool, that was great. And I walked away like, I took a picture of me walking out of that building, and I said, that is not the same girl that walked in. And we have moments like that, glimpses of our future. In that moment, I knew I would never be the same. I could not unsee and unhear everything she said about branding and marketing. Why? Because I already believed it all. It was already in me. The way she discussed branding and marketing is the way I believe the business world is missing it. We are approaching branding and marketing as if it's logos, as if it's promotionals, and as if it's numbers. And all of those things are good, but they're tools. And what are we missing? The human connection, the personal aspect. What is going to make me connect with you? What is going to make you feel like I'm the right person to work with? And we miss it. Every single day I watch people, I scroll and scroll, missing it. Because we haven't grasped, we're just creating content with no intention, no purpose, no idea. So I have this 4-step program I'm going to get to. I am going to get to it as quickly as I possibly can. But in that 4-step process, we are all operating most of the time in step 4, which is marketing. So you're talking at people, you're throwing content out, you're doing all this stuff, and you're hoping it sticks and it works. Anybody here feel that frustration? I'm doing the work, I'm putting the content out, I'm just not getting the right clients. They're not seeing me, they're not understanding what I really offer. How dare they ask me that question? Did you hear what they said? Do they not know I've been in this industry for 16 years? The audacity, right? Are we guilty? Who's to blame? You are. You're to blame because you're not telling the right stories. You're to blame because you're not being actually thoughtful about them. And truth be told, you don't care about them. And I'm just going to give it to you straight. Half of the time, what we're doing, what we're producing is very one-sided. It is not relationship-based. And social media and the people behind social media are getting smarter. They're catching it. It's a turnoff. People don't want to see that anymore. They want to see something real. Show me a real connection. Show me real people. Show me real conversations. Show me someone I really want to work with. So what would happen if we start removing some of those layers of what we think we should do? The expectation we think we have. We have to produce these 10 videos. Do you? Why? And yes, I'm going to say, yes, you do have to produce the 10 videos, but not if you don't know why. Because it's pointless. You're exhausting yourself when you put that energy to good work, right? Okay, if you suck at social media, then get your butt to work and go in person to events. Social media is one avenue of a big marketing world. It is the best platform and the easiest to reach a wide audience in nowadays. But if that's not your strength, don't pour all your energy there and then be exhausted and not go to an event. Just go to an event. Find your way to meet your people right where they're at, okay? So that takes me to branding and marketing and the 3 steps you should consider before releasing content. Are we ready? All right, here we go. All right, I did all of that. You guys, I'm terrible at slides, so, I'm just going to roll with it. I talked to you about competition. It should fuel you, but it should not rule you, okay? Competition is actually good if you use it in the right way. Why is it good? Because you should never feel stagnant. You should never feel, I've made it. Because there's always somebody coming right up behind you, and it'll be who you least expect. Why? Because they're hungry. As soon as you lose your hunger for what you're doing and who you're doing it for, you've lost. You've lost. And someone's going to win. Okay, the 4 phases to accelerate your branding blueprint. Here we go. Phase 1 is brand DNA. I need some water. I'm trying to crank it out. And you guys, I could teach each one of these topics like for a whole week. So I'm stressing. Okay. All right. Brand DNA. Brand DNA, why it's so special. You guys know Sissy? Okay, so brand DNA and why it's special, you guys. So I always say school taught us something, right? Who remembers the who, what, when, where, why, how? Storytelling. Storytelling should be at your core when you're thinking about branding and marketing. It is everything. Who am I serving? And I'm not talking about demographic. Everybody gets stuck there. Oh, I serve like this people and they're about 40-something years old. No, I literally am like, who is on the other side? Like, who is she or he? What are their problems in life right now? Where are they going? Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Do they live in Bakersfield? Are they moving in from Los Angeles? What's their story? Because if you don't identify who you're talking to, you'll miss it every time. You're talking to a wide audience and hoping something sticks. No, I know my client's full story. I know where they came from. I know their pains. I know their aspirations. I know what they're thinking in the morning when they wake up, their coffee order. I see them everywhere. I can identify them in rooms. And that's how precise you need to become in order to really kill it. This is always wacky to people. They're just like, no, I serve everybody. I don't know. I'm not going to limit it to one person because I want to serve everybody. Good luck, because by continuing to try to serve everybody, you're talking to nobody. You haven't identified what you're doing. So who am I serving is huge. What do I offer? Get really specific. This is like literally, what do I offer? This is what I do. I provide loans, and this is exactly how I do it. This is the process, 1, 2, 3. And if you're not talking about that to your audience and making it so easy for them to understand what you do in a 3-step process, you're missing it. Because we live in our bubbles of we know what we do, and everybody probably in our circle knows what we do, so we assume the world knows what we do. Oh, I'm a loan officer, but okay. Then what are you doing, and how are you going to help me is their question. So if you haven't clarified how you're going to help them, they're going to go with someone who did. Okay? When does this happen? At what point do you meet me as a loan officer? So technically, you're going to go to this person first. By this time, you're thinking about this. And then you come to me, and I'll be ready for you. Those conversations are being missed every day. Where do I work? Oh, I serve the community of Bakersfield, California. You want to state that. You want to write that. Oh, I also serve San Luis Obispo for whatever reason. Share that. Heck, if you want to move to San Luis Obispo, promote yourself as if you're working there. Go there. Have lunch there. Tag yourselves there. There's a magical thing that happens in the little robot world of Instagram. If you start connecting dots for Instagram and you tell it exactly where you're at and what you're doing, it shows a community of people in the same spaces. Little side note. Okay, why do I do this work? Why is this fueling me? And why should they care? Okay, so A lot of the times some of us are storytellers, maybe. Some of us are not at all. So people don't even know why you're doing this or why they should care that you're doing this or how it benefits them. Remember that as consumers, think of yourself. As a consumer, we're in a selfish position. We are consuming to receive something. So if you're just telling me, I sold this house, look at me, I did this, which is not bad because it shows credibility and authority, but if that's all you're doing, look at me, look at what I did, this is my achievement, blah, 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 and here's that, and then here's a house that's available, here's listing, you're throwing sales at me, and I'm going, what does it benefit me to know that? But if there's somebody that comes on and says, hey, are you having a hard time landing the home of your dreams? Are you frustrated? Maybe you've seen 4 or 5 houses. It's just not the right one. Are you needing some support, some help? Somebody who knows the market, an expert? I can guide you. I can take you personally, and we can have an amazing experience, and we could get coffee on the way, sure. However you want to state it, that says, I'm the person that you could trust, okay? So you're solving 2 problems. They could trust you, which if they could trust you, you already got them. Number 2, you're taking this heavy load of stress away from them. And that's when someone's in the market to buy or search for a service, they want somebody who will take something off of their plate. Okay, so how does my process go? That's the same thing. Get to the nitty-gritty, how you do what you do, why you do it, write it down, start processing. I don't think we take enough time processing what we do. I just think we assume, and then we just share a bunch of stuff. So as soon as you start getting to this phase where you're processing and you're really saying, am I getting to my client? Is this hitting home for them? Then you're in the right place. Build a voice and community. So if there's one thing that I want you to walk away with about social media today is I get really frustrated. My clients know I'm not about numbers. I'm about engagement. And we watch the engagement number, what's happening behind the scenes that people don't see. And those numbers are green and high and rich and beautiful. And I love those numbers. But people want to be showy. And so they want those follower numbers and they want this. And so I always tell them, really? Okay, so you want 25,000 followers. Okay. All right. So if you had a room full of 25,000 people, could you offer a beautiful service to them? Could you deliver at your max capacity? No, obviously. I can't work with 25,000 people. Great. But if you had a room of 100 possible quality clients, wouldn't you show up and give like your all? And sometimes we disregard that there's 100 people following me. Oh, I don't have a big account. Oh, I'm not going to post on social media because I only have 100 following. Nobody's there. Really? They're not there because you didn't show up for work on there. I always say that social media nowadays, it's like the office before they get to your office, your physical space. They are going to see, is anybody in here in social media today? And if you're not showing up, if you haven't posted for a month, if you haven't even come on at all, they are getting these clues that you're not an active business. So just information, guys. Information. Start treating your social media like real people who really would buy from you. Real people who need real solutions. Real people who want a relationship. And if you do that, it will change everything as it changed my world. Okay? Phase 2, design. Okay. My favorite part personally. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. There's a lot of men here. That doesn't change anything. Men do love to show up. put their best foot forward. A lot of women catch this quicker than men do as far as presence, how important it is, and how you put yourself out there on social media. But it's not just a male or female thing. Women are the same way. Sometimes you just have this mindset that, I don't care, it doesn't matter, they get what they get, they don't throw a fit. You could show up any which way possible. That's not always entirely true. You show up sloppy, you get people who are sloppy. And if that's cool with you, then that's cool with you, but don't complain when you're not getting high-value clients because you're not willing to put out high-value work, okay? And this is a lot of pressure. I know. Social media is a lot of pressure, and shoot, if you have the funds and you need to allocate your funds and hire a marketing team, like Charisma Co, just a side note, if you do, then you can. But if you can't, there's still work you could do to finesse on your own, or heck, with a nephew, a son, or somebody that's really operating a little more creatively than you. At least you could pay them a lower amount, and they could help you at least for a little bit. My only suggestion with that, though, my side note, is there's a lot of teenage mindsets running social media for professionals. And that is really tricky because a teenage mindset is a teenage mindset. You can't train them to get out of that mindset. They are in TikTok world. They are in presenting a certain way. I've seen social media platforms where I know the company in person, and I don't think that their social media is doing them justice. I think they've lowered their bar on value because they are executing like TikTok videos that really don't apply to them. I'm not against the TikTok style, and I'm not against like trends. I just say use them wisely. If you wouldn't do that, don't do it. You know what I mean? But if it's totally your personality and you love it, have fun. Because then when they meet you, they like, cool, it's the same person that's I love to dance, but it's the same person that's dancing on TikTok. But if you're a serious person, don't dance. Because then you're going to get people that expect that kind of vibe. And to be honest, they're going to be quite disappointed to find out that you're a more reserved and serious person. So it does make a huge difference what you're putting out and who's getting attracted to what you're putting out. So let's just be mindful of that. Some things to keep in mind is consistent color palettes. So you can decide. I challenged you with a little, what I call a Pinterest hunt. And this is how I would guide anybody who can't work with a team to develop a personal brand design. This is the steps I would give you. And take notes if you need to, but it's a good one. You're going to go on Pinterest. I don't care. I have my husband do this. He loves it now. So it's a good thing to do no matter what you're looking for. But you go to Pinterest, and then I call it create like my feel good, my vibe page, right? So you have a board, and it doesn't matter what it is. You're just going to scroll and scroll like you have hours laying down, sometimes scrolling on nonsense on social media. Scroll for yourself, right? So scroll on Pinterest. And then if you see a picture of a whiskey glass and you love it, save it in your vibe, okay? If you see, oh, I love that leather belt. I don't know why, but I'm going to save it. Oh, those shoes. Oh, that house. Oh, that style. Oh, that porch. Oh, the whatever. Go into your happiest zone. If you love to golf, probably half your board will be golf. Whatever it is, just fill your board until you cannot fill it anymore, till you're exhausted to the max, okay? And then don't look at it. Take one day. The next day, I want you to go back into your board, and I want you to screenshot. Every time it feels like the squares of pages for you, screenshot a couple screenshots. And then you should start seeing colors. So you'll start to see like colors come into each. Like all of a sudden I realize, oh, there's reds in every board. Or there's this deep, rich slate blue. oh, there's this army green, whatever it is. That, to me, is the simplest way, without, again, going into the psychology of color and all that stuff, to get to a place where you create for yourself a consistent visual message, okay? So finalize 3 colors. I always say go for 1 color and 2 neutrals, so a dark neutral and a light neutral. And those become your color palette for the next year. And don't change it, okay? So that's my tip on that. That also has to play with, okay, am I seeing a style on wardrobe? Because I think there's an inner version of us that even, I see this with guys actually a lot. Guys tend to be very chill and minimalistic. They'll get whatever they're used to getting. Somewhere along the way, they thought a hat and a sweater was their vibe, and so they've always worn it. Until one day they're like, I don't know, inside, I would look like that guy. I would dress like that guy. Or they see a picture or something. If I was as cool, I would be that guy. Be that cool. It's your choice. You get to reinvent yourself as much as you want. And so I believe a presence, your style, the way you show up somewhere, that's a brand as well. So all these things speak different messages. The more you do it consistently, the more people recognize it, and they'll start to identify you in different zones, okay? That's brand design. Phase 3, okay, production. Yeah, production this is the monster one. This is the one that people mostly catch on to, so a lot of people dismiss the brand DNA part. I would probably say that the DNA is the most dismissed. Like, a lot of people don't realize there should be intention to what you're doing, to the production or to marketing. But this one, obviously, we're in an age now where everybody knows they have to produce content. Okay, and I want an honest answer in this room, okay? By a show of hands, who finds creating content like a job that you don't have time for? Okay. And then who genuinely has an incredible time creating content? Okay. Fewer hands, but they're up. Good. Okay. So I would dare to say that the people who raised their hand that they actually like it, there's a sense of purpose behind what they're doing. Because nobody likes to just take all this time to create content if it's not even doing anything, and you have a whole other job and family. Who the heck has time? I believe that when you get to a place where you're actually enjoying it, it's because there's actual purpose behind what you're creating. And so now you're going into it excited with intention and a plan, and I'm going to do this thing and that thing because of this. So when you're creating a content plan, I'm going to guide you to something right now. And this is like the quickest way I can help you start being mindful of what you're producing. And this doesn't matter, you guys, if I'm going to give you my tip too. Do we have busy parents in this house that are also professionals? Okay. I'd have to take a deep breath because I built my whole company and business as a full-time mom. And you guys, that is not fun. Let me tell you, there'd be nights where I would be rocking my baby and finishing a deadline. And it's not for the weak at heart for sure, but we get there and we make it through and we make it work. The kids are fine. We're good. All of that to say that I learned the skill of prepping, where they say, hey, if you prepare, then you won't fail as much. Then social media doesn't become as stressful. I knew I had tapped into something special the moment I had my 3rd child, and I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I wanted to be present on social media, but nursing or present with her, right? And so I had to solve a really big problem. If I know that I want to be at peace and truly present at home with my daughter for a month, no one was coming to take care of my work for me. So what I had to do is 2 months before having my daughter, I went into full plan mode. and I hired a photographer, and I came in with a plan of exactly what we were going to shoot to cover me for the next 3 months so that I would be covered the month leading to having her, the month of having her, and the month after. And that became a light bulb moment for me and the company that I now run. How can we produce content in batches with intention and purpose so we could be active in our jobs and active at home while social media is doing a wonderful job? Wouldn't that be magical? So you come up with a plan, and I'm going to give you a really fast idea here. I want you to have what is called, so first of all, I want you to set an intention right now and be very honest with yourself if you will be posting 1 time a week, 2 times a week, or 3 times a week. And please do not say you're going to post 4 to 5 to 6 times intentionally right now for the next month, 2 months, and 3 months. 1, 2, or 3. If you do anything more than that, amazing. But planning-wise, select 1, 2, or 3 days a week. And then I want you to put by the amount of days, I want you to put what days they're going to be. Is it going to be a Monday that I'm going to release, a Friday, a Saturday? And be mindful that you want to pick a day that is usually not as hectic for you, because when you release a post, you want to remember you are releasing with the desire to engage and connect. You don't want to release and walk away. And that's what we do all the time and say, why are we not making progress on social media? And nobody messages me. Nobody does this. Did you respond to the one comment? Somebody really real took their really real time to stop for 10 minutes for you. So the more you cultivate that audience, the better. 1, 2, or 3 with the intention that you are available for the hour after posting. Deal? Okay. You have your day. Now, I want you to think, you're going to think of 3 master topics is what I call it, okay? One of those master topics is going to be a personal topic. Do you naturally like to talk about golf? Do you naturally like to talk about your family? Do you naturally travel and you feel like you always want to talk about your travel choices? What is the one personal department that you want to talk about? You're going to put that down on paper. Number 2, what do you actually do? So that's another master topic. And then number 3, what do you actually believe about what you do? And what are the tools? So belief and tools. So this is your value section. Okay? So now I want you to imagine that in a post format with me, okay? Are we all together on this? Did everybody write their stuff? I don't want to get ahead. So if you could imagine this, can I ask who could volunteer? I'm going to use you as an actual real-time example. Who would volunteer with your 3 topics to share with me? Yes, Summer, thank you. Okay, share your first topic.
So my personal one would be speaking about recovery. I can talk about recovery all day long, forever and ever.
I'm obsessed already.
And then what I actually do is I sell real estate. I help buyers and sellers buy and sell real estate.
And then 3.
And then what do I actually believe about what I do? I believe that it's very important that you have an honest, ethical realtor that works with you, because my mom had the opposite experience when I was a teenager, and that's part of what fuels me to get up and be honest and suit up and show up for my clients.
All right. So my question to you is, have you ever shared about recovery before?
Oh, yeah.
Yes? Okay, good. On your Instagram page. That's another topic. Remind me, personal versus professional Instagram pages. How much is too much? What to do? Oh. Okay. See, I could talk forever. Okay, great. But have you ever made the connection of why recovery matters to someone looking for real estate?
No.
Do you think that there's people in real hardship?
Most I know that.
Do you believe that sometimes people buy homes because they're in a hard place, such as divorce, such as this?
Absolutely. I see it all the time.
Okay. So there's a really real story that connects with someone who might be in a really real hardship situation, which connects with your heart, your past, your story, and their purpose of why they're buying a home. Do you think that 10 other people that week talked about how hard it is to be in a situation that is terrible buying a home? Do you think anybody else did of your colleagues or competitors?
Most definitely.
Okay. You think they talked about
Oh, no.
hardship?
They talked about
No, sure. I don't think they did either. I think they talked about what homes were available on the market that week. So if I was in a really hard place as a consumer and I was scrolling on Instagram and I ran into your page and your story actually told me I was once in this situation which led me to make some life changes that led me to purchase this house or make this life shift, I understand that life doesn't always give you the best outcomes. But if you need anybody to support you along a hardship situation and still get that home, land that, place where you want to be and call it rest, I'm here for you. Okay. So you can talk about healing. You can talk about these things. You just have to find out why it matters to them. Because sometimes we can just share all of our stuff. And that's one aspect of vulnerability. But then I feel like then you lose some professionalism. You can't, not saying you. I'm saying we could get in a position where we can lose professionalism. Like, why does it matter to me? But when you tie it around to me, you're going to have a people that really trust you through some hard stuff. Okay, number 2 was you are a real estate professional. So then that's just the obvious, right? This is where everybody does. You show what you're listing, you're doing what you're doing. And then 3 is what I do and why I do it. So you said, because I believe people should be ethical when they're working with a real estate agent, there should be that. How can I see that visually? Have you ever created a video where you're working with somebody and you feel the ethical connection? You feel like you actually care about them more than that? Those are the videos that I would spend more time creating from the 10 videos you would have created that you think are going to go viral. I'd say smash that and create that, because then you get value to value clients. Yeah, you're welcome. You guys playing the viral game? I don't know. I have my... I do this for a living and I don't play the viral game. I don't believe in it. I think it's now, I think it's cool. I think it'll give you a wider reach, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get valuable clients. And to me, I'm like, it's exhausting to create. And if I'm going to spend my time creating, it's going to be with the intention to get valuable clients who actually care about what I do so that I can actually care about what they do. Don't we all just, in our dream world, just want to work with people that we could be friends with? They are so cool. I can't believe they're my client. I'm in that place now where I work with so many people that I'm like, these are people I admire. I want to be like. They call me to more. They're doing big, bad things, and they call me to rise. And that's what we all want, I think, in the room. But we want to be treated back with that same respect, and they all respect what we do, okay? And that just comes with showing yourself a little bit deeper. All right, now I got 10 minutes. Whew. Okay, I'm going to bring it home. I actually thought I was going to be worse than this. Okay, so I'm going to bring it home with marketing. Marketing is like this big. Truly. It's just what's available. At the end of the day, marketing is now, I've got the products, I've got the goods, I got everything I need. Now I need to get it out to as many people as I possibly can with intention and purpose, correct? So, how do we do that? I want to challenge you not to think so one-dimensional this year and not just think social media. Personally, I think social media is a must. Why? because there is a wide audience you will never be able to reach like social media right now. You literally have, at minimum, an ability to meet with 1,000 people a day if you wanted to. That's what those Reels numbers mean. It means you met 1,000 people today. That's huge, okay? So now when they meet you, are they coming back for more? Is the bigger question, okay? So one-dimensional is saying, oh, I'm on social media. Two-dimensional, if you really are calling yourself a professional in any aspect and you don't have a website, I question this a little bit. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. And you don't have to do a fancy website. I'm just saying, social media is like the dating game, and your website should be like where people are a little more serious about you. And if you only date people and you don't take them to more a serious connection and a serious like turnaround, you leave money on the table every single day. So most of the time people will find you on Instagram, and then if they get serious about you, if they've been dating you for a month on Instagram and they're like, hey, I really like this person, I really want to meet them, obviously DMs are huge. That's okay, things are getting a little spicy in here with the DM. Okay, we get a DM, that's a great sign. But what about the next steps? What is the 1, 2, 3 to have a meeting with you? And that's why websites don't have to be super complicated. I say if you have a company that runs millions and millions of dollars, if you don't have a flashy, incredible website, I don't know what to tell you, except shame. No, just kidding. It's invest in that. Invest. Because if Instagram shuts down and that's where you're at and nowhere else, then you miss it. But, and this is relatable to you, and I swear I say this all the time, a website is the only actual online real estate that any of us own. It's the only one that technically you own. If Instagram shuts down, they can't take your website. Okay? So get yourself a website. Please make it simple. The website should have plain information, but the most important thing that if I already bought into you on Instagram, I just want to know how to book you. Hey, how do I actually book you? So there's got to be something they land on the website that says, great, you've made it to my page. This is who I am, blah, 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 blah. 1, 2, 3. Let's talk. Okay? Get rid of the fluff. Just 1, 2, 3. Okay? Intro, who you are, what you're about. 1, 2, 3, done. That's it. That's easy. We could all buy one. Go on Fiverr.com right now. Get a web developer who will do it under $500, but do it, okay? All right. So another format, so social media, website, email marketing. When you have a website, you could also get what is called Flow Desk. Some people used to use, I forgot the name of it, but Flowdesk is so much better because Flowdesk is so much prettier. They have really good designs that are ready and made up for you. If you want to send out a newsletter about an event that's coming up, you type in event, and there's already a formatted, really nice, ready to go. You change the things, change the pictures, you're done, okay? So email marketing. Get yourself a website for the intention of building an email list. Email list can make you a lot of money today. That is not dead. And neither are blogs, but that's a whole different message for a whole different day. All right, but on a side note, if you are naturally somebody who likes to write, or you even want to pay somebody to write for you, you could write blogs about your industry, about what you're processing, blah, 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 blah. At least release one a week, and it helps your SEO It helps your Google search massively, okay? Massively. And then last is print and in-person marketing, right? Those would be the beasts. There's so much more, but I would say those are the beasts, okay? My challenge to you, think outside of social media today. If social media is not your thing, put your energy to where it is. But don't disregard social media. Just learn how to get better. At least show up once a week with intention rather than 5 times a week sloppily. Please. Nobody needs another thing on their feed just because. Okay? If you sold a home, look, I believe in it because, again, credibility and authority. But if that's all I'm seeing on your page, what's the story behind selling the house? Like, it's just that simple. Okay, share with me that you sold it. But you know what I crave sometimes? I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if somebody, can I borrow your phone? Oh, someone's calling you. Should we answer? No, just kidding. If you need to take it, I'll grab somebody else's, yeah. Okay, so you sold a home today. Your first instinct is to post that graphic that has the home and show it sold. So what I crave as a viewer is this. Hey, everyone, what an amazing day. I just sold this fabulous home. Look, blah, blah, blah. And the people I sold it to, this is why I sold it. This is how it went down. This is what happened. And we got it in. Look at them. They're so happy. Everything turned out so great. I couldn't be more grateful than this moment. Okay? Like, and if you're not that person, it's fine. Then don't be the person in the camera. Be the person that films like this. Just sold this home. I'm so proud. These are my clients. Say hi. How do you guys feel? It doesn't have to be, if you're not like a face person, that's fine. But find a way to get your voice. Let them hear your voice at least. Let them feel that there's a really real person behind that graphic. Just graphics, they get lost every day. They're not doing anything for you, okay? I think I'm at the end. Oh my gosh, I could go. And then we'll ask questions. Take a picture of this because I do not have time for this. These are amazing tools you could use every single day to sharpen how you show up on social media. Creative Market, you guys, if you need a cheat sheet way of getting that website, there's website templates on Creative Market. There's all kinds of stuff that's available that can help you immediately. Lightroom is a little more complicated, but it's good. Planoly, CapCut for editing. There's simple tools you could use to edit your videos. Captions.ai, so good on videos. ChatGPT, who doesn't love ChatGPT? Okay, all right. But I wouldn't even spend so much time talking to you guys about ChatGPT and AI because I use it as a tool. It's like my helpmate, but it isn't what's going to make a difference either. I don't believe it. Platforms, do's and don'ts, take a picture of this as well because this is like a lot of information. And then I think we'll open to questions. Do we have time for questions still, Darren? Yeah? Okay. So just really quick, do keep business and personal separate if you need to, but sprinkle in some personal. Let people see your family. If there's something that happens and shifts, if I think you're a real estate agent making a bunch of money, living up the best life, versus you're raising a family. Just show me glimpses and things that make me feel your emotion. Try to understand and think why Nike chooses to tell the stories that they tell in the format that they tell it. Why do they pitch to us not the product, but the person behind using the product, what they're feeling, what their motivation is, and try to tap into that for yourself a little bit. All right? Okay, Kenny. The heart of branding takeaways. Branding is an experience. It's a reputation about who you are and what you promise. Don't build a brand just to keep up. Build one that inspires, it attracts, and it thrives because it's rooted in who you are. Trends fade, authenticity doesn't. It lasts forever. Dig deep and ask yourself what makes you thrive. Your clients aren't just buying a home, they're buying an experience, a future, and a feeling of security. They need someone to trust. And information. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm burning up. I'm sweating. All right. Thank you. Okay, the mic for who has a question? I love questions.
We need to get our own mic. We have mics coming down.
Oh, they're passing it. Oh, okay. I literally am sweating like all. That's a lot in a 1 hour. All right. Are you guys ready for your nap?
Which means we need to have you out here again.
Oh, I know there's so much. I could break each topic down. Hold it down. Hold it.
Test? Okay. So I moved here a couple years ago, and I listened to Ruby speak my first time out in the community after some really rough season. And just to see your growth just from even last year,
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm so proud of you,
Oh.
and I appreciate, and I'm so glad that you said I have something new to bring, because exactly what you brought is what my soul needed. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm so extremely proud of you.
Thank you. Wow. That means so much to me. That's just a testament, you guys. Like, that was the game changer. That's why I am where I am, because I started to build a community. And there's someone else in this room. I took their COVID photos. I ran a COVID promo and took photos of families in front of their houses. Still, as a photographer, I was transitioning to branding and marketing in 2020. And it warms my heart to thank you for stopping me and sharing that, because it's amazing, these reminders of just trusting yourself. Yes.
Hi. If a company wants to use your marketing skills, how do you go about charging, and what's the scope?
Wow, that's a loaded question, but we work with different phases. So sometimes I call it the social presence. If you just want marketing prepped for you, promo prep for you, for a quarter, we prep all the work and then you execute it. And then we have other clients that are on a full year, and we actually help them build their brand, build their website, and sustain the brand for an entire year. So yeah, that's typically how. So simplest way, contact us, we have a meeting, and then we understand what you're looking for in the year to come. Thank you for asking. Yes.
I just had a question. You said, hold on, Carrie. There's somebody with a microphone.
Mike.
You could be next.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I am in a unique situation. I work for a bank.
Okay.
And so I'm a 1031 exchange officer. I'm the only one. But the bank has its website. The bank has its marketing.
Yep. And a lot of restrictions around what you could do.
It's horrible.
Yes.
So guess what? Everybody that knows me, because I provide lunch and I stand up in front of them for 5 minutes.
That's right. And you found a way outside of it to build connection.
And I am so relational.
There you go.
But I would
it's
love
frustrating
to build on that. And so maybe you might have some ideas for me later. I don't know.
Yes.
I would appreciate it if you do.
Yeah, I have run into those situations where, like, State Farm Insurance people, they want to build their brand. It's crazy because you are operating as your sole, like, business, but underneath that whole brand. So it is a little more complicated, but there are ways around it. And I would say to look into personal branding. You have a good presence, so it makes me feel like this would be a no-brainer for you. I think you have authority, and there's a space for you. I think something's coming, something pretty big, platforms and all of that. So positioning yourself as a person, as a leader, and then showing more of that instead of technically selling what you do will naturally create an outlet for you to gain the trust with the community and sell anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so you said to remind you about the difference between a business page and a personal page.
Thank you. That's a good one. Okay. So business versus personal. Please tell me you guys have a designated business page. Yes. Okay, some. Because some are still operating, say, with their personal page where their kids were going to play t-ball and they're doing all this stuff. And at one point of your life, that was the right page for that. And then your business shift, and instead of creating a separate account, you just kept going and going. It's normal. Don't feel bad about it. It happens all the time, and it's fine. But I always say, who are you talking to is the biggest question, because that's where it gets tricky. Because sometimes building a personal brand is pretty epic nowadays for a business because people gain trust. But there has to be a lot of intentionality with that, right? So what I mean is, if I know that I want to sell to moms, that I want to be the are you a real estate agent? If I want to be the agent that every mom wants to come to, then I'm going to probably share 50% of my life as a mom and then 50% as a real estate agent. Because then I'm going to build trust that I know exactly what they're going through, exactly where they are in life, and then I might know them because of their kids go here, and we make those connections. And so it really is person by person, but overall, I want you to identify yourself. That's the biggest thing. Am I more of a personality or am I more of a business? And I think individually we know. Now, I like to keep it strictly business. I don't want to tell anybody what I do, who I am, or where I'm about. If you're that, you're what I call a business brand. If you're a business brand, I want you to execute with 70% to 80% business, probably 90%, but leave 10% to showing your family, to showing what you did on the weekend with your husband, to show the drink you ordered wherever you went, to show your friends. I want to know that you have a life and a personality outside of work. But if you're a personality, I would still say if it's business driven, 70% business, and leave that 30% to show your personality. Does that make sense? So if you identify as more personality, more outgoing, more of that, 70% business, 30% personality. I still want to know that you could take care of the job. At the end of the day, people want a real estate agent that's going to get the job done for them. Okay? That's the quickest way, because everybody would have something slightly different. But any more questions? Ooh, I talked a lot. There we go. Thank you.